There it goes. YouTube is live also. So everything's live, Facebook, YouTube, everything's up. Hey, everybody, it's Jason Blaha here. Thought I would sit down and do a bike cardio for you. I did 2.5 hours of walking this morning. I'm at a point where it's just like, this is all just bonus for me at this point. I feel like if I just keep the diet tight, I'll be in a good place, not really that worried about any of it. Right, not even really worried. I think I'm going to run down. It looks like they've got watermelons and honeydews on sale. After this cardio, I might make a quick trip out there. Might come back, do a little sled work or something in a bit. I almost feel like at this point, I don't have to try to push the cardio to extreme limits. I really just need to keep the diet nice and tight, keep the fasted window tight, do a little bit more high intensity stuff in there. Because, I mean, we're burning through a lot. Like 2.5 hours of walking fasted, that's a lot. You know, same thing getting this bike cardio in. I just need to get however much I feel like getting in. Honestly, not a big deal. So at this point, I feel like sometimes I overdo some of the list cardio, almost to the point where it may even be increasing my appetite a little bit. So I feel like just keeping the diet tighter. Obviously, we're still going to do hours of it like this every day. It's beneficial for health, beneficial for fat loss. I'm especially doing it all fasted. Brings a lot to the table. But we're going to continue to stream all of it. But like I said, between the streams this morning, I did 2.5 hours of walking, like early in the morning, starting before sunup. So now it's like, let's just get on the bike for a little while. But I feel like I want to do a little bit of sled work here later. So I don't need to go too extreme on this. I might do 30 minutes. I might do an hour. I'm just going to see what happens. I'm going to see how the live streams go. I'm going to let kind of the streams, comments between the YouTube and the Facebook both kind of just dictate how long I do it, you know. I'm just going to try to enjoy it, have a little fun with it, see if we get some decent super chats, some decent questions, comments. And if not, I may not go real long on this. You know, it's just not a big deal. Right? I'm not going to be obsessed with, let's try to get 4 hours. Let's get 4.5 hours. Because I've been doing that and the scale hasn't really moved. It's probably making me hold extra water just from some cortisol. So again, just going to have fun with it, you know. Just get in, enjoy my live streams, chat with my people, you know, see who all comes in. All right, we'll see who all comes in any of these. But yeah. So I'm going to comment on my own thing here, right? I'm watching my own stream. All right. But turn that off. And hopefully we get some comments. We got the first like on YouTube, which means people are coming in. We should start getting comments. I'll probably get the regulars. There we go. Those are starting to trickle up. We'll get our regular viewers. Get those goals. Trevor, I appreciate it, brother. How are you doing this morning, Trevor? Are you getting your goals this morning? You know, we got Coach over here working on his goals, but are you getting your goals, Trevor? You know, that's the important part also. I'm hoping I inspire all of you, right? Let me give Trevor a thank you. All right. Hopefully I'm inspiring all of you. But the likes are coming up on YouTube, just nobody's commenting there yet. So I'll chat with you for a minute here, Trevor, till the YouTube picks up a little bit. But yeah, man, hey, man, I appreciate that support, brother. I appreciate the support. You know, all right. So do I need to pin that? It's a great morning. Not a day goes by where we don't chase that ghost, man. I'm telling you, bro. I know that feeling. Right? I know that feeling. I'm going to pin that to the thing in case people want to come in later. See my Amazon wish list. Yeah, man, we just got to stay after it day after day after day. And I think especially, you know, like me, I'm 48, man, I got to stay on top of this. Right. So for me, that's been a big deal with it. The longer I've done this, I've drifted more away from, hey, do I want to be a great power lifter? And do I want to be a good master's power lifter to, do I want to be super fit and healthy and still be really strong? But let's focus on health, longevity. Let's get a better physique. Let's be more athletic. Let's work on our cardio. All right, let's work on our heart health. Let's keep everything on point, especially given my family history, man. I mean, my mother passed at 47, rest in peace, cardiovascular related disease. Genetic predisposition, was a chain smoker, wasn't eating well, quit exercising. Lost her at 47. My dad had his first heart attack in his 30s. His dad died at 55 of a heart attack. So I have to think about those things. But I don't let it, scare me. It's kind of like, rather than be afraid, let's be proactive. Let's just be super fit. Um, Another reason I'm cutting down leaner and leaner and leaner. Let's be fit. Let's be athletic. That's why I'm doing the different types of cardio more and more now. I'm doing all this lists. Lars says hello, coach, over on YouTube. Hey, Lars, how you doing, man? You doing good, brother? Hey, Lars, I appreciate the ongoing support from you also, man, over all my lives and everything. It is appreciated. That's the other thing, man. I always have to remember, sometimes I get trolls, I get haters. I have to remember I have a lot of actual fans. I have people who appreciate me. They love the work I do. And I need to be grateful to those people. Um, I want to do a better job of showing gratitude to the people who have been supportive and showed me love and support over the years, right? I want to have more gratitude towards those people and just be grateful and gracious and be like, you know what? When we live in a world where there's so many people who throw so much nonsense and hate, guys like here, like Lars, man, you're in here supporting me every day. You know what? Lars, thank you. You are recognized, you are appreciated. Right. I appreciate that. All right, let's get over here. Vino was over here in the Facebook. Vino, I'm streaming on both right now too. Um, Good morning to you, Vino. He's a regular supporter. Hey, Vino, dude, you've been super supportive on all my platforms for a long time, man. You know what, dude? Thank you. You are noticed. Trevor says, brick by brick, I'm 42, and I hear what you're saying. We build from the inside out, fitness first, and the physique will follow suit. Absolutely, man. Look, if you eat healthy, you eat a clean diet, you get enough protein, you lift weights, you do cardio, you're going to have a good physique. Right? And people have to remember that. You're going to have a good physique. Is it going to be winning a bodybuilding show? No. But to the average person walking down the street, when you live like that, they notice. They're like, that person is fit. That guy, that girl, they look good. Like, people will notice. Carol says, Blaha, still standing. Appreciate it, Carol. Hey, Carol, I'm on Facebook also. If you'll drop in there and drop me a hello in there also, I would greatly appreciate that. Carol, another supporter, man. Dude comes in both my platforms. I appreciate that, man. Thank you. Matt, one of my channel paid members, says, what's up, coach? Daily grind continues, brother. Absolutely, man. Day after day after day. Hey, Matt, same thing I was saying, man. I want to be more grateful to the people who show me love and support. When I have haters and trolls and stuff out there, I want to acknowledge the people who are on the other extreme. You know what, dude, Matt? You're in here every day. You're on my channel every day, leaving positive comments. You're one of my channel members on my YouTube. You know what, dude? I appreciate you, brother. Thank you so much. Hey, man, I appreciate the ongoing love and support that you show me. It is noticed. All right, over on Facebook, Bino says, another day promoting fitness. There we go, brother. That's all we can do day in and day out. We just keep promoting it, promote fitness, promote a healthy lifestyle. Merrick, it's Carol is over here. It's Merrick. There you go. I knew there'd be a ski in your name, man, because I know you're Polish, right? From the other stuff, he comes in here. He's like, Kowalski. Did I say it right? It's Kowalski, right? Let me throw that little bit of Slavic. Get that little Slavic twang at the end. Kowalski, right? I grew up in a multilingual family originally. Super Dude, hello Jason, what's up? What's up, Super Dude? How you doing? The Vino jumping over to give you another like here. Hey man, I appreciate the ongoing support. Vino and Carol are in both streams. Love it, man. Love it. I appreciate the ongoing support here, guys. You guys are appreciated. All right, man. So we're getting in here. Just get, like I was saying earlier, I don't even need to go as crazy high on all the lists as I do. I feel like I need to do a little more high intensity too. Like, I don't have to try to hit, let's try to hit 4 hours. 4.5 hours. Like, we don't need that on the list on off days. I did a 2.5 hour walk. I'm gonna get in here. I'm gonna do this bike ride. I'll probably go push a sled. I just need to fill up on my satiating food for my food window. Cut the food off at that point. All right. Keep it all super clean, and everything will be fine. It'll all be good. I think I've been almost overdoing the list to the point where it makes me hungrier. And it's like, I can look at this and go, this is just a bonus cardio. I did a 2.5 hour walk starting at 4:30 this morning. This is just a bonus. Let's get on the bike. Let's talk to all my people. Let's stream and not view it as work. You know, I think I'll get out later before I eat. I'll push the sled a little bit. I'll probably get that on camera, and just enjoy this cut. And that's what I'm trying to look at it as, man, I need to look at this as not work. Oh, I have to get all this. No, let's get in, let's enjoy it. Let's talk to the people. Like, we should have joy and happiness with all of our training, all of our exercise. We got to find a way to make it enjoyable. So I'm going to get in here, be gracious to the people who support me. There's a bunch of you guys in here right now, right? Who show me ongoing love and support. Man, thank you. I'm going to come in here and chat with you guys, and we're going to be happy and be gracious. Cameron says, should I add some hammer curls into my regular as I work if you're brachialis? I mean, yeah, if you're brachialis, particularly like if right here, your radial brachialis and all this too, your brachial radialis right here is lagging. Mine is obviously not. Some hammer curls wouldn't be a bad idea. Frederico says, Coach, I'm thinking about doing 1 week of 1,000 calories aggressive cut. No, dude. No, don't cut down to 1,000. No, stop. Do not go under your base metabolic rate. Increase your activity. Don't go under base metabolic rate. You're going to start losing muscle. It's not worth it. Lester says, yo, Coach, finally getting back to squatting after a herniated disc. Hey, man, how did you do? How did you go about recovering from the herniated disc? I'm always curious when guys do that. I've done it obviously with clients. I personally, getting lean is more about diet. It's about both my preference, really. I mean, the diet is already really clean. I'm already at relatively low calories for me personally. So the cardio absolutely adds at that point. Because keep in mind, preference, I'm not just burning a couple hundred calories. I'm burning over 1,000 calories a day in cardio. So it's a little bit different. I'm not your average person who goes and does 20 minutes of cardio and only squats 100 pounds. I have massive legs and a high energy output. It's a little bit different. And when you're doing hours of it, it matters. That's really a silly statement. It is about energy turnover. It is still calories in, calories out. But if the claim that it wasn't always about cardio, then why do we have guys like Beata who are shredded to the bone from the ridiculous amount of cardio he does while eating donuts every day? Just saying, you can't make that as a universal statement. You really can't. We say that for the people who are not carrying huge amounts of muscle, who don't do large amounts of cardio, but it is absolutely a factor. Absolutely a big factor. Jason looking pretty jacked. Appreciate it, Carol. We're getting there. We're coming along. I think as I get leaner, I'll look more and more jacked, even if I don't have to gain muscle, just lose fat. I mean, really, lose another 20 pounds of fat, people would be like, did you blast a bunch of tren? And I didn't. So, it's the nature of the game. Or the nature of the game. All right, it kind of died out a little bit over on Facebook because they're all on both platforms now. All right. But my preference is really getting lean is largely about calories in, calories out. But yes, obviously diet, but not entirely true. Again, we say that for a reason, because the average person isn't going to burn enough calories to really get that lean from cardio, but it absolutely adds up. Lester says, it's taken a few years to get to the point where I can squat without pain. Yeah, especially if you have had that happening, especially if you had that herniated disc. chest is full, the benching pays off. Yeah, it is, man. And the dips are carrying over really well, though, Carol. Let's be frank. Like, my benching is decent, pretty strong right now. And I've been living on dips. Um, Dips do a lot for me personally. I have to go back and admit that historically. I was saying that in the stream this morning. I went back and saw a really old post some time back. I was having a conversation on a forum with Jamie Lewis when I was rebuilding, and I was still learning to walk again. And I had some old pictures of me really jacked, and I was like, my arms are really big from doing mostly dips, and and they were at the time. I was also close grip in 405. Kareen drops a heart over on Facebook. Appreciate it. Thank you so much for your support. So the dips are definitely helping too. But yeah, I mean, the benching is a big deal. You think dips are better overall? I think dips blow dumbbell presses out of the water. Right? I mean, dips for chest and triceps, definitely better. Dumbbells can be better for your delts. But let's be realistic. I mean, if we're looking at biomechanics and data that we have, dumbbells are not going to hit the chest harder than even a barbell bench. They're going to work more shoulder. They're generally going to be more anterior deltoid, whereas in dips, de-emphasize the delt a little bit. Right? Lester says, I remember you saying that some people can't do dips due to their structure. Correct. I try weighted dips before, they always get a pain center of your chest. That's the people who have to avoid it. What's happened there is there have been people who they almost fracture the cartilage in their sternum. So if you're getting a lot of pain in the center of your chest, because I get pain all through here, like it's like, man, it stretches. It feels like it's going to rip all that area, but it feels good, right? I can tell I'm working it. What happens is that there have been people who it cracks the cartilage in their sternum due to their structure. And if you're one of those people, you might have to avoid dips, and it sucks. Or if you do them, you're going to have to do body weight or reverse bands and go really light and build it up over a long period of time. You have to be very careful with weighted dips if you choose to do them at all. So just be aware of that. What about those who get pain in the shoulder during dips? There could be something wrong with your technique. Also, it's sometimes too much ego lifting, because that's been noted too. And I saw Dr. Mike and one of these guys talking about that one time, that really they should improve your shoulder health if you go deep. So it may be the case of a lot of people are trying to go too heavy and then they're cutting the reps short, or they're staying way too upright at the bottom instead of leaning into it and getting the deep stretch in the chest. And that might be why it's hurting your shoulders. Maybe they need to go lighter, lean forward more at the bottom and get all the way down. And it might even require a reverse band depending on how strong you are. And the pain may do the opposite. The pain may go away. So it's just something to be aware of with that. Lester says, yeah, my pain feels like when I breathe after doing them, I can feel the pain in the center of my chest. Yeah, you're probably one of those people who are going to have the possible cartilage issue on them. So again, be aware of it. If you choose to do them, proceed with caution. But I've heard of people having that problem in the building out of it by going the light on them for long periods of time and building it up. So it's usually the people who get hurt doing that. They have that weakness in the cartilage and it puts stress on it and they build it up. They don't take time to build that up, and then they try to go heavy and it ends up causing injuries. Again, it's something I've read about quite a few years back. I did make some videos on that way back in the day. But I've also heard of a couple of people out there anecdotally saying they had that problem and that pain, but they built it up slowly, really slowly and carefully with really high reps, and they were able to eventually have that pain go away and then no problems. So that may also be an option, just something to consider with your dips if you're getting that pain in the center, like in that cartilage in your sternum. But yeah, that is a real risk for people who get that pain there, that cartilage actually fracturing. All right. So again, just something to be aware of. Carol says, positive, strong, athletic, lean, healthy Jason in a toxic world. That's it, man. And that's what I'm trying to do more of, man. We got to stay positive. That's what I'm trying to do. Be healthy, be lean, be positive, be athletic. And again, that's why I'm like today, man, that's why I'm thanking everybody just for being supporters. You know, just be grateful to the people who show you love. Laura says, I have a serious question. I lost 20% on all lifts this last month. Slowly but surely, 56 years old, the age has caught up to me more. Is there hope it could be other things? Talk to your doctor, Lars. That's not normal. Even at 56, it shouldn't be that big of a thing. Like if it's just age related, if it's just age related, I wouldn't expect that, to be fair. Not that rapid. It would be like, man, oh my bench went down a couple kilos, makes sense. So maybe there's something going on medically that you need to talk to your doctor about. Just go get a checkup, be my advice. Lester says, yeah, but I don't blame you for getting triggered on my cinnamon squares, bougie fitness, right? All right. We don't need all that, Lester. All that processed stuff, man. All right. Like I said, I don't know how long I'm going to run this one. Coach is over here holding out for some supers. It's been a good couple of days for those, though, to be fair, on the bike rides. People have been dropping supers the last couple of days. Actually, pleasantly surprised. But it's when I wasn't doing any of the morning walks. I did that morning walk. I might have jinxed it. Right? No, I'm kidding. I might have jinxed myself with that. Oh, man, there's no views on Facebook all of a sudden. They died out. I had a bunch of comments, and then they died out. That Korean girl's trying to send, she's a scammer. She's trying to send me DMs. Like, I don't think so. We're not having that. People seem to not realize my page is a business page. It's not a profile. I don't know. They might try to just chat at you in the inbox. Are you walking after this or just a bike? No, Lester, we're done walking. I did 2.5 hours of walking already. Most of it was on Facebook. Right, an hour of it was here. I already did a 2.5 hour walk starting at 4:30. So we're done, man. We're almost 3 hours in for the day. You pull off being bald so well, I do. I got a beautiful bald head, man. Love it. You got to love it. Bald is beautiful, baby. Right? Bald is beautiful. Well, damn nice work. Yeah, Lester, weekends, dude, I'm up early. I'm up at 4 a.m. starting my day. Super dude, you bigger and stronger now than when you started YouTube? Yeah, probably. Yeah, definitely right now. I weigh more than when I started YouTube right now, even though I've been cutting. I was only 200 pounds when I first started YouTube, guys. I was down to 200. I'm probably leaner now, though, to be fair. Definitely leaner. I'm bigger, stronger, leaner than 13 years ago when I started YouTube. What advice? I wouldn't. Clear, that's not a fitness-related topic. We don't cover any non-fitness. You guys know the rule. First warning. I work retail and push carts a lot, so I guess that counts as GPP. Yeah, absolutely. Back in the shed in the UK. Yeah, so the rule is from now on, my YouTube is purely fitness. I don't discuss any non-fitness related topics at all. Zero. I don't address them. We don't cover them. It makes my life a lot easier as far as outreach and hate and trolls if I only stick to fitness. So you were not aware of that current rule, but now you know. All right. I guess carts is kind of similar. It is, it's somewhat similar. It's not as hard, but it is somewhat same idea. Yeah. I definitely think pushing carts, a line of carts if you need to out in the parking lot is would contribute to GPP. Absolutely. I remember in the UK, you're already brutally strong. Yeah, I mean, I got my squat back to 230 kilos relatively quickly. It took me about a year of serious training. you know. It was only about 200 about the time I started YouTube. I was squatting about 200 kg again during the rebuilding process. I love to lose that weight first. Mm-hmm. So, yep. Yeah, we're definitely pretty strong by then already. Clear. I don't worry about things like that. I don't actually even ponder that sort of nonsense. When people ask questions about reminiscing or changing the past or whatever, no, I don't even worry about it. I think that sort of mindset is crippling. To ponder that sort of stuff, I think will literally program your mind in a bad manner, right? Because now you're worried about the past. It's like, no, man, worry about what you can do today. Worry about moving forward in the future and goals. You don't worry about stuff like that. That's just, to me, that is actually the mindset of failure. Like, don't even do it. So that would be my advice. Don't ponder and dwell on negatives of the past or what you could change. Would be an amazing piece of advice I would give to everybody. Worry about what you can do right now, what you can do to move forward in the future. Pretty much everything you do in life, whether it's fitness or anything else. So don't waste your time on that sort of train of thought. Purge it from your mind. All right, next. Makes sense. What supplements do you take? I haven't been doing much protein lately. I do a multi, I do creatine, I do extra strength fish oil. That's it. Anything beyond that, situationally useful at best. You know, so for the most part, supplements are largely a scam. It is 95% a scam industry, right? Okay. Is it good to take omega-3s if you don't eat a lot of fish? Potentially, yeah. But Lester, I want to be clear on that. The amounts most people take, no research shows no benefit. Like, I take an enormous amount. I take the amount that a cardiologist would prescribe to you. So it's 2 grams of BPA DHA. So I take the extra strength fish oil, not the regular stuff. Carol says, I see no difference when I use creatine and I'm going to continue using it for brain health. It's anti-Alzheimer's, like you mentioned. Exactly. So you're probably a non-responder in terms of performance, but you shouldn't notice a performance boost. If you do, it's a placebo. The amount of performance boost you get from it is so small that it's almost immeasurable without equipment. So if you're getting a boost, if you're noticing something, you're getting a placebo effect. But the water weight, some people notice the change in water weight, which is, are you a responder or not? But I saw a shift in water weight this time when I took it, like, within a day or two. So I may not be a non-responder anymore. And I added it back in. All right. All right. We pretty much hit 3 hours of list cardio today. I got a guy over here arguing with me on Facebook again. One of these guys, whenever you see something lean protein isn't useful because in nature, anytime you find protein, you find lots of fat with it. It's like, what a clown. Imagine being that delusional or misinformed that people actually think wild game has fat on it, right? Outside of seals and whales in the Arctic Ocean, there's almost no fat found in wild game or with protein sources. There's no source of saturated fat. Like, if you were living out in the wild anywhere but the Arctic or without access to coconuts or seals, Do you know a person couldn't even exceed the American Heart Association's recommendations for saturated fat? It would be biologically impossible out in the wild, barring access to Arctic mammals or coconuts. It would be physically impossible. Not that we want to have an appeal to nature here. All right, it's a logical fallacy. Okay. Well, might not get any supers. I don't track it, probably. I'm at a point I'm not really tracking. It would be impossible for me to get less than that, Carol, unless I went vegan, honestly. Because I eat meat and dairy, I almost can't get down to 150 because of all the whole foods I eat. So, because I eat meat every day, it's just me getting down below that is almost impossible with my food intake. Right? Like I have days where I'm trying to minimize it, and I probably still hit 180 or 200 grams. I'm trying to add no extra protein, and it still ends up being a crazy high. Okay. So, you know, but ballpark probably anywhere from 150 to 200 grams of protein a day while not tracking it or even trying to get significant protein in. It's because I eat animal source foods too, right? But my whole food, even all my plant stuff, I probably get 80 grams just from my plants alone. And then I'm eating meat and dairy and stuff with it. And then the eggs, throw a couple eggs in a lot of days. All right, there's not much else really happening here, so I might go ahead and wind it down then. Since this is all kind of slow, we hit 3 hours of fasted cardio. Didn't get any supers, but that's all good. Let me end the Facebook. Okay. Let's put his client Justin on now. He wanted to try full body. He dropped out of coaching for a bit because of budget, but he hit me up and says, "Hey, I want to come back on for a month just so you can get me on some full body. I feel like it works better with my schedule since you're doing a lot of that now." So I started him back up on full body. Because he can only get to the gym 3 days a week. He can get a lot of time in once he's there, but it's just like 3 days and he's out. All right, guys. So I'm going to go ahead, wind this down. Love you guys, and I'll talk to you next time.